From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time on some kind of clock. I feel pretty much back to a normal clock. Oh, we'll have all the details of the grand tour of Italy. Dan's tour, complete with scooters somewhere in the outlying beaches of Massachusetts, and a lot of great guests coming by. But we are going to beat them. I want to start at that. The best news I got, text constantly during the trip from Robin Schaefer, who will be here at 12:30 today, our Wales guy at the Jersey Shore. Orsted, the Danes. Yeah, the Danes don't like what's going on. They will not start their wind turbines until 2026. We're going to beat them. That's what's going to happen here with these people. That's the way you got to think about it. That's the way I do think about it. Now, the Monmouth poll doesn't like that. They think that's too partisan. I take everything like that personally. I just picture a Danish every time I'm talking about these guys. They're not going to spoil our Jersey Shore. Kelsey Grammer says the same thing. Our guy's in touch with him. I know he's doing a celebrity bartending. We're working on that with him. But this is how tough Jersey is. And I know people will hear this, Dan, and they'll think, well, that's nothing to be happy about. Monmouth poll out today. A bare majority of New Jerseyans continue to favor the development of offshore wind energy, but the current level of support is far below what it was. At one point in New Jersey, we all know how progressive Jersey is. It was 85 to 88%. Polls taken 2008 to 2011. It's down to 54%. And Monmouth doesn't even mention the whales as one of the reasons why people have turned on this. They just think it's people concerned about what the wind farms will do to the Jersey Shore, tourism and all. But I read this poll, it tells me we all know how progressive Jerry. Dom, come on now. After all these whales, we just had another one. I saw Rich all over Twitter with it when I was in Italy. And Matt Rooney, too, yesterday. Thanks to Matt for filling in. Did a great job. Had on a guy we've had on before talking about all this. We are winning on this. Now, it's to keep the pressure up through this election cycle. Democrats are afraid in New Jersey that in South Jersey, at least, people are aware. It took awareness. They don't listen to talk radio like you might. But what this poll indicates to me, big time, is that we've turned on this. Now, two things. One, drag it out as long as possible. The longer it goes on, the more the Danes are getting cold feet. You know, it's Hamlet. And the more people realize this stuff and they go, wow, I don't want that. It's really that? Yeah, they're trying to rush it through. And no, I didn't get to see Phil Murphy's house. I did see George Clooney, and if he paid $14 million for it, he was robbed at Lake Como. But he did get to build his own jetty. Almost never allowed. He's got his own little beach there. He had to have a beach. I wonder how much time he spends on his beach. I think they told us it was 10 by 15 feet, his beach. I mean, at least get a 40-yard beach. I can show up and throw the ball the length of it. Come on. By the way, a lot of skepticism after a few various adult beverages about whether I came close to throwing 40 yards or not.
How many adult beverages are we talking?
Yes, well, so many so that people said, well, you think you can drive everything. Why don't you let Rocco shove over and let him drive the bus?
Oh, did you drive it?
No, we were up like 1,000 feet with hairpin turns and trucks whizzing by with this giant bus with 80 people on it or whatever.
Did they drive with 2 feet in Italy?
No.
No.
And he, in Italy, the main defensive driving thing is, the hand gestures cannot be overdone. Not only that, this time around, Dan, every place in the world seemed to serve pizza.
Really?
The last time I remember, they thought that was gauche. We made a big deal over pizza. I didn't think Italy did. But this time around, where we were, every course or everybody was a pizza restaurant.
What was the best thing you ate while you were there?
The risotto.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember, we were getting
That sounds
Northern
good,
Italian
yeah.
cooking, which I hadn't had before, and I would say Southern Italian cooking is certainly better.
You get any of your baked ziti while you were there?
They did serve baked ziti as one of the courses at the Mamma Mia restaurant on the last night party, and
Oh, come
I told
on.
people, Dan doesn't like this. Maybe we shouldn't be eating it.
So you saw a bunch of cities while you're out there, so did the listeners. Is there one city that you'd suggest a listener has to see?
Oh, yeah, Venice.
Yeah.
But, I couldn't live there. You came pretty close. Only 49,000 people in population. You know how inconvenient it is to move around, that you have to go by boat for just about everything, and they boat everything in? And apparently our guide, Rowena, who was excellent, even though she said it's sauce, we did have quite a debate.
Third one says it's sauce. See,
Yes.
the genuine Italians are coming out of the woodwork, Dom.
Well,
It is sauce and not gravy.
Yeah, and the people that were Italian on that bus were not having any of it.
Yeah.
They said, we're giving the tip tomorrow. There might not be a lot of gravy in there. They couldn't take it. That was the one thing they were off. She told us, though, the group that inhabited or started Venice just deforested the entire area, pushed the logs downriver or down the Grand Canal, right? And then when they pushed them into the mud, they petrified over the years, maybe as many as 1 million or more logs.
Oh,
And Venice is built on petrified logs that a bunch of barbarians brought there.
really?
Yep. The coolest guy, and I think I didn't have a chance. We had one photo up of Ro and I in a gondola, and they think it's Photoshop because there's no water. Well, the boat's up out of the water. We did kiss under the Bridge of Sighs.
Did you?
Yes, and these women even remembered Catherine is the one that did the whole thing.
Wow.
In order, they wanted to meet Roe the most. Damn the red. They said, "Is he really that liberal?" I said, "Oh, yes. It's quite an act every day." There were a couple of people who wanted to know how good of an accountant Maisie was. They might have some action there.
Ah.
Amazing, the stuff. This was such a good face of who our listeners are.
Any listeners that are regular callers there? Yeah, Leslie was there,
Well,
right?
Leslie, who might call in today, the tour put her in charge of getting the bus to the spot in Newark Airport. And Leslie is a very classy, everybody knew her type of thing. But I saw this one woman trying to ask her something as she was arranging this. And it was like taking General Eisenhower away from the big map. Newark's airport, mayhem on a Thursday before a day off. So it was like a Friday.
Yeah, weekend.
And, the New Yorkers there and all that, they're not letting you park the bus where you're supposed to. They're sitting there in the lane, and the bus driver is honking, and we're throwing bags on. But Leslie orchestrated. We did not leave anybody behind in New York.
Did you get at least some sort of peace while you were over there on vacation?
Of course. What do you mean?
It's beautiful.
Peace? Yeah,
beautiful Italy.
Oh, yes. Lake Majura was incredible. We even had a little porch. And I must demand, if we go again, a sitting room. We had a sitting room. Ro loves a sitting room. You never know who might want to come. The mayor of, and I was.
Did Ro actually use the sitting room, or does she just like the idea of having
She likes the
sitting room?
idea of it.
Yeah.
But she did use the porch. She sat out on the porch stand. It was about 4.5 feet by 5.5 feet, but it's still a porch.
That's beautiful.
I was compared to, in no particular order, several listeners thought I was reminiscent of George Clooney, a woman sitting at a cafe in St. Mark's Square asked me if I was Arabic. She was sitting next to us. Yes, I have that kind of command. She's, "Are you sure you're not Arabic?"
What?
Palestinian woman thought I was Arabic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten anything like that? That was one of the stranger.
So how many people live in Venice?
49,000.
Okay, so I looked it up. Atlantic City's 38,000.
Okay.
And they have a place called Venice Park. So
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's a lot of Venice. I thought was a much bigger city. It has cachet around the world, but living there, it's like New York. It's a great place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. I mean, everything comes in by boat. You're constantly going on gangplanks, getting on and off, with the whole thing. They do have some highways, but you got to take boats to get to the highway. So it's a completely different. Oh, the coolest guy there was the glass blower. See, I always thought these guys would blow the whole thing up into glass. He's one of those Italian guys. He's got the jewelry on. He's going, and he's taking his big, huge, long, 10-foot long tube, and he puts it was over 500 degrees or something. And he just casually taking it out. And suddenly he blows into it a couple times, manipulates it with his hand for 10 seconds. And he has this giant porcelain horse made right in front of you. You can't imagine the skill. And he had that blase, just
if that really did entertain you, interest you, I suggest Blown Away on Netflix.
Okay, I do know Blown Away.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. You told us about it.
So is it the same kind of glass blowing with the? So it's called soft glass, where they, put it into a big barrel with the.
No, there was no barrel. This guy just did it, and he did 3 of them inside of 4 or 5 minutes. And these things are expensive. Wow. They're gallery there. And then they show you, they take it and they drop it. It won't break. I forget why. There's no lead in it or something like that. They drop it on the ground to show you that it's not going to. But it was more the casual nature of this guy. It's a Sunday. I thought he was going to be flicking cigarettes. That's the other thing I noticed. Not a good thing. People public smoking. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Constant. It's like a prop. They're talking with their hand and they're moving the cigarette around. Yeah.
How was did you experience a cappuccino or espresso?
I didn't try that. No, I'm a tea drinker.
How about Ro? Did she?
No, doesn't drink coffee.
No?
Anymore.
No. You got to. Come on.
It wasn't that well. I was too busy experiencing the wine.
That's true.
People offering to buy drinks and all, as a host, it's your job to take them up on it.
Did you ever check out that bar that Leslie wanted to see?
The problem was they did it the night that the first day that we were there, and you're in recovery mode.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We flew overnight for 8 hours. So it's a little bit, and the air conditioning, high.
What do you mean?
Other than that.
Like high as in it was warm? Or
Yeah, no, it was very cold.
Oh.
People had hoodies on with the hood up.
Ooh.
Don't fly overnight if you can help it. It's too cold. All right, we'll get Dan back from Boston, back from his vacation, that area coming up. But I'll give you the side question now. Then I have one other thing before we get to some great guests coming up today. Due to Venice, due to all that, the boats, the gondola ride, guys, just fascinating. What is your all-time favorite? And you just don't blurt it out. Remember, side question today, only one day. The side question will be the winner of Captain Chucky's today, since I only have one day this week. Hit us with that boat, real or fictional. Of course, we'll take Titanic off. We'll take Love Boat off. Hit us with a boat that's real or fictional that you think has some kind of outside the box, some kind of fun associated with it. Dan, how about you? Do you have one?
I'm going to take a big one off the board, Dom.
Okay.
It's one that we're all familiar with and really just don't know. It's kind of fallen through time exactly what it is, but everybody driving over the Walt Whitman Bridge looks over to the right and sees that giant SS United States, Dom. At one point, it was the fastest transatlantic liner. Like, it was a really big deal. Frank Sinatra, right. Marilyn Monroe would take trips back and forth across the ocean. I think Eisenhower rode at one point.
That's a good one.
That ship, man, and it's sad because just over the years, it's been docked there. It's kind of fallen into disrepair. I want to see that thing turned into some kind of, tourism attraction. You look across the river and you see the battleship. I want to see something similar here in Philadelphia, down there in South Philly with the SS United States. It's a beautiful ship, and it should be, something should be done with it.
That is a very good suggestion. I will take off the board, too, the Battleship New Jersey. We were instrumental. I was at WWDB then, doing morning drive, getting the Battleship New Jersey here from Patterson. And it allegedly can shoot a shell the size of a Toyota.
It's amazing.
14 miles. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Oh, my God. All right.
Can I take one more off?
Yeah,
just because it's such a big one. Titanic.
Yeah, I said that already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay, good. Yeah, just want to make sure it's off there.
All right. Now, I am following as we're starting to get ready to come home from Italy, this story, and I'm waiting for it. This clown, Danilo Cavalcante, 34, extremely dangerous, who escaped from Westchester Prison. There's a prison there, right? First of all, you shouldn't be escaping from prison. Okay. Dan, this guy is a convicted murderer, Josh Shapiro. Another reason why. Now, suppose this guy murders someone else while he's out. He's a maniac, right? I wonder if Josh Shapiro's son would tell us that, right? He also, Dan, murdered his ex-girlfriend in Schuylkill Township. She found out he had been beating her, pulling her hair off, etc., and the police had been called. What the hell are they doing out there in Chester County? Is this a mushroom thing? Didn't they check that he's here illegally? Now, the media is burying that. In addition to which, he was wanted for murder, she found out, in Brazil. And that's when he ended up killing her, stabbing her 38 times in front of her young children. This maniac is out there now, extremely dangerous. It's just like the face of why we need the death penalty. Would Josh Shapiro stand there if we had him in studio and tell me, well, that rarely happens. You're just using this one case, you clown, right? This is exactly why we have the death penalty. He did it. He could do it again. And he can get out, either by escaping or some progressive letting him out. Maybe he was headed to Philadelphia in order to hope Larry Krasner could help him. You know, he was falsely accused. Something happened. Why was this guy still here, wanted for murder? They want him in Brazil. And yet, he's out now. I haven't seen any news that he's been caught yet. Extremely dangerous. Somebody that will stab a woman in front of her kids 38 times might do something to anybody. This is a perfect example of why you cannot trust people like Shapiro, for that matter, any Democrat, to do the first duty of government, safety, protection of people. They fail. Buddy, Josh Shapiro, you fail. The death penalty doesn't fail. If he had gotten the death penalty, then he would have been on death row in a more secure place now as we await him to get executed. And it's not just the death penalty, it's doing it as much as possible and as soon as possible. He did it. He's wanted for murder, got into this country illegally, has been living here some time. The police seemingly knew about it. This isn't even Philadelphia. Is Chester County a mushroom sanctuary county? Now, we're going to keep after this to try to determine, because the rest of the media doesn't want to do it, how a guy like this, who had been going after this live-in wife or girlfriend, was on the radar of the police. He met through mutual friends. Their relationship lasted about 2 years. The Inquirer says, prosecutor says, he was violent and abusive. After an argument in the apartment in 2020, he bit her on her lip, Dan. This clown biting a woman on the lip. Bit her so hard, he drew blood, chased her and her children out of their home. The three hid in a neighbor's apartment until police arrived. Hey, when they arrive, does it ever dawn on you that this guy's here illegally? He said he would turn himself in. Investigators said he never did. He attacked her again in December of 2020, chasing her with a knife. She filed a temporary protection order from abuse against him, but it lapsed in March 2021 when she did not appear to hear it. She frequently had to leave her home, threatening to tell police about his active warrant in Brazil if he didn't. The day after, he drove to her home to confront her. Police said they got into an argument. 2 children nearby yanked her by the hair, threw her to the ground. So the cops know all this stuff. I'm serious, with all the news media out there, do they want to know why a clown wanted for murder in Brazil and here illegally is not held, deported, or just held? Why do we need people like this in the country? Why do we need it? Well, I know why we need it. They got mushrooms over there. There's got to be answers to this. There's got to be occasionally an answer to stuff like this going on. He was on their radar screen. They knew who he was. You have all this stuff going on, and nobody checks? Or did they see he was here illegally? Is Chester County de facto a sanctuary county? Is it the DA? Is it the local police department? Are they afraid of the mushroom lobby there or something? Is that what this guy was doing? Why would we? Now we have all kinds of federal marshals, hundreds of police looking for him. He's a menace. He should have been put down by this point, but he was in a more minimum security because he wasn't on death row. They were going to transfer him to a more secure facility in the near future. My God. You shouldn't be able to break out of prison. I hope we all agree with that. I don't think this guy's a mastermind. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Hit us on the side question. At the end of your call, hit us with that all-time boat, that all-time vessel, real or fictional. And if you've been following this story, you know people are looking for him. It's in the news a lot, but barely covered. He's here illegally. All right, and I'm not sure what time today. You won't want to miss this, though. I told Dan already. Dan the Red, I'm not sure if he's going to appear today or not. The New York City police, because they get calls over this holiday coming up. I think it's a Bahamian group, their holiday of big parties. They're going to be having drones flying over barbecues and backyard parties and scoping them out. What? Is this America? They want to steal a Bahamian recipe? Now, David O is coming on at 2:00. And I know he's a fan of the drones. I'm only a limited fan of that. I mean, I just think this is being too enamored with technology. Send the cops over to check it out. Lock people up. I'm in favor of that. But having a drone just staying over your backyard party. Seriously, this is what New York City's doing.
What's the just cause here? That's kind of where I fall.
Well, they're saying there's overcrowding, big parties too big. They got complaints from the neighbors, Dan.
Huh.
You think that rises to the level of this kind of surveillance?
Again, I mean, if it's a common issue where a lot of times here in Philadelphia, we can't have block parties anymore because there's the threat that violence is going to break out at any second. So if it's to that level in New York where, there's a threat of violence breaking out at any second, the only way that New Yorkers can enjoy their time safely is with active monitoring by police to prevent stuff like this from happening.
Well, that party here, and I really do want to talk with the partner of the Marine that was beaten up in Danielle Outlaw's Philadelphia. They were holding parties over at 30th and Jefferson at 2 and 3 in the morning in the recreation center.
Yeah.
Just stake it out or just come over, lock up every one of them.
Well, that's the thing. Is this an overreaction to recreational kind of parties?
Yes, I think it is.
Because if they're happening at certain parties and you can kind of predict when a party breaks out at 2 a.m., I mean, the thing I was taught in college is nothing good happens at 2 a.m., Like
that's exactly right.
So yeah. What are you doing starting a party at 2 a.m.? Then, yeah, there needs to be some kind of police monitoring. But to have, I don't know, man, I'm kind of on the fence here. Dan the Red might not be so red today because having a drone flying over backyard parties is that's kind of
all right.
Set the line for me.
I'm glad you saw that. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210.
And you did say Bohemian Rhapsody, or did you say Bohemian Recipe?
I said Bahamian recipe.
Oh, okay,
yes,
gotcha.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, wrong song.
I was told, too, that Venice is kind of like the Bahamas to a large degree. A lot of 118 islands.
Oh, yeah?
But when you get off and you get the first water taxi, the guy, I want a guy confident in his job, Dan, but the guy taking you to the boat across the Grand Lagoon, it's pretty high, and there's white caps. Hey! That's all. Hey, what could happen? Yeah.
The hand movements,
yeah. And the wrists, the identification bracelets. And you know how you have one of them that makes your wrist shake all the time?
Is it just constantly windy in Italy from all the Italians talking with their hands flowing around?
Yes, a lot of wind and a lot of man buns.
Windmills.
I saw in one space 10 guys with man buns
within
a couple blocks. Brutal.
All right, question for you.
Yes.
They often say that Europeans, particularly French women, I think, but maybe Italians as well, don't shave their armpits.
I did not see, and I was looking for that.
I
think that's more French. Yeah, I think the Europeans, don't, but I didn't see any of it.
No.
And there were a lot of fashions that were very revealing.
All right, and final question for you.
Yes.
The Italian women versus the American women.
Much better this time.
Yeah?
Yes. Now, certain enclaves, I would say, are still better. I still would go to Passyunk and Mifflin to find Miss Universe, not Venice.
Okay.
But maybe Southern Italy. But they were better. The fashion, we were Milan, the fashion capital.
Gosh, I have so many questions. They just keep popping up. Were there a lot of capris on men?
Capris.
Yeah, so like capris are like the pants that aren't actually pants. They're like right in between shorts and pants. Women wear them here in the United States.
Yeah. Pedal pushers. Yeah. I'd say no. I didn't
Okay.
see that as the fashion
How about
statement.
shirts that were too tight?
Oh, yeah. Open, Dan. It's like, it's just like Jerry Buss in the Lakers thing, with his shirt open. Like, why even wear the shirt?
A lot of hairy chests?
Yeah, no.
So the open shirt with the hairy chest and the gold chain, is that an actually Italian thing, or is that like a New Jersey Italian thing?
I thought it was an Italian thing, but these guys look like they're shaving hair too, as far as I can tell. Yeah, not enough hair.
Yeah.
If you have hair, let it show there. Women love it. I know.
Let it flow. Let it flow.
And Rocco, the bus driver, was like a rock star. You had to see this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Driving the one here.
I just imagine him looking like Ringo Starr.
No, he was an attractive guy, almost a movie star.
Gotcha.
Everybody did want to see Clooney, though. They were all peering over the side of the bus, All right, 855-839. I wanted to see Phil Murphy. I want to see the hair up close.
Yeah.
855-839-1210. You get in now. Hit us with your reaction to any of that and the side question. We'll talk with our whale guy, Robin Schaefer, at Ocean City. We are going to beat them. How do you feel about that? They are going to go back to Denmark. We're going to stop them. Sometimes you got to celebrate. It helps you to keep on going. The king of hair is going to lose. 855-839-1210.
We are Nancy and Robert Harding, and we became Crash Proof members in 2018.
It is important to go to a Crash Proof event. I went to the event. He wouldn't go.
I tend to be a little more skeptical.
He's skeptical.
If you're skeptical of the Crash Proof event, I'm probably the best witness you could get. I am convinced now. With the Crash Proof system, the interest gets credited to your account, and then you make interest on that new principal amount. I saw the 12% return. The compounding on that is going to just push our value up that much quicker.
Double-digit interest is possible any year. And he can thank his wife for going to that event. Can't you, honey?
Every good husband knows that that's what he should do. Listen to his wife.
Join Crash Proof Retirement for a private screening of the groundbreaking documentary, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at the William Penn Inn on September 12th. Registration is required. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Summer's almost over. Football's coming on. The house is almost empty. The kids are almost gone. Labor Day, what a perfect time to start work on that home renovation. It's the Labor Day sale at Colonial Marble and Granite. Summer ending deals on the region's most extensive selection of stone surfaces, fixtures, and accessories. Right now, get a free 10-year sealer or edge upgrade on your marble or granite countertop. Colonial Marble and Granite, the cornerstone of a beautiful home. Sale ends September 4th. Restrictions apply. See website for details.
Join us as we honor Baseball Hall of Famer and Phillies Wall of Famer Scott Rowland for the Toyota Scott Rowland Wall of Fame Salute on Friday, September 22nd at 7:05 before the Phils take on the Mets. Secure your seats at Phillies.com. Be first in line to secure a 2024 Phillies season ticket package before the public on sale by placing a deposit now. Gain access to benefits such as price savings and postseason options. Reserve yours at Phillies.com/season.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Police are searching for a convicted murderer who escaped Chester County Prison Thursday. President Biden will visit Florida tomorrow to address the residents and assess the damage from Idalia. And the Phillies begin the September push on the road in Milwaukee tonight at 8:10.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Did you know that our oceans are true climate heroes? They've absorbed over 90% of all the excess heat trapped on Earth. And without them, temperatures would have already soared by almost 100 degrees. But they can only take so much. Climate change is being driven by greenhouse gas emissions, threatening our planet and straining our oceans. You can help. Join Oceana today to protect our oceans at oceana.org/hero.
Hi, it's Howard Eskin. Going back to school means getting back to busy schedules. From the science fair to the ball field to that after-school snack, we're always on the go. So add a little tasty to your kids' day and pack some delicious Tasty Cake mini muffins, seasonal favorites like pumpkin baked pies, or the classic crimpet. There's only one way to make your kids' day tasty. Anything else is a mistake. So grab your kids a tasty treat today. Tasty Cake, except no substitutes.
Angie makes it easier than ever to connect with skilled pros to get your home projects done well, from repair to remodel. Get started on the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Weather sponsored by SC Johnson Raid.
Sunny skies for the rest of the afternoon. We'll warm to near 80 this afternoon, but the humidity stays low. Clear and cool tonight, a low of 59 tomorrow. Sunshine, another comfortable day for Saturday, a high of 83. But it's heating up on Sunday after a morning low of 66, mostly sunny, 90 the high. I'm NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
The new Raid Essentials Light Trap uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes, turning your home into restricted airspace. For insecticide-free protection that's people and pet-friendly, get new Raid Essentials Light Trap.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, it's the Dom Giordano show, and yes, over these years of doing talk, I do believe it's come on, Dom, it's business, it's not personal. Nope, it's always personal with me. And it's personal to see these rats in Trenton and Denmark come here, kill whales, be ready to just ghastly destroy the Jersey Shore, and we're starting to see we are beating them. And if we keep the war of attrition on long enough, we are going to beat them. Now, the Monmouth poll, Dan, doesn't like that. They say this is partisan, that Democrats, Republican backing has gone from 69% to 28% in the past 4 years. How about independents? They dropped from 77 to 52. Democrats have remained stable at 79%. Well, they're insane. They're insane. They're worshiping. If you just say climate, yeah, what about the whales? Hell with that. Climate. We are beating them, though. In a place like New Jersey, they are going to lose. Now, there's only one caveat to that. It has to be now capitalizing on these successes, continuing to make people aware of what they're doing. I know it's hard to believe, even with all this, that people, all the whales and everything, people are unaware. And that's where people like Kelsey Grammer come in, and our buddy Robin Schaefer, who heads up, in my mind, the number one group that's done the most to educate people, to agitate, and to make it apparent. I mean, I knew about this stuff, but I didn't know about it as much until I started to talk to Robin and a few others. Robin joins us for an update here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robin, welcome in, and congratulations. We're not prematurely celebrating, but people need to know when something is working.
Dom, it's great to be back on your show. Thank you. I would say that I went to bed last night thinking I was feeling really good. It reminded me of being a kid, going to bed with that a big snowstorm forecasted the night you go to bed, and then you wake up in the morning and it's didn't really materialize the way you expected it. So I looked at that story and went over Ørsted's statement yesterday. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that stuck out to me is that they're not walking away from this project. So there's two things. One, the pressure campaign is working. Ørsted has their stock has been tanking. It went down 25% in one day. They've been losing billions of dollars. And a lot of that has to do with the public pressure that they've been getting from grassroots organizations like Protect Our Coast, Save LBI, Defend Brigantine, as well as politicians like Jeff Van Drew, who's been great, Senator Testa, Commissioner Barr, Judge Donahue. We've got a great warriors on our side, great champions of this cause, and people, especially like you, getting the word out. It's been so important for people to understand what's happening down at their happy place down the shore. And we're right in the middle of it. Ocean City is ground zero for this.
Oh, without a doubt. But again, the longer this goes on, the more educated. This poll with the independents is indicative of it. That's the tell, because the people that are just married to climate progressive, or let's face it, conservatives on the other side, 25 points down with independents, though, who are looking not in the political side of this. They're starting to recognize more and more how much of a race. Now, I think if they polled, would you be okay with a moratorium? We might grab another 8 to 10%, because people would then say, well, that doesn't mean the project's over. It just means we're going to halt like they usually do and look at this trouble in a very thorough way.
I think one of the things that stands out to me is you're mentioning the Monmouth poll, right? Isn't this the same poll that had Murphy up by 19% over Chitterelli in a week before the last election?
Yes. Yep.
They are notorious for skewing their polling results. I've seen polls by Fairleigh Dickinson did one not too long ago that was indicated 65% of New Jerseyans oppose this project. I mean, across the board. And I bet you if you did the poll down in the coastal communities, it'd be more like 85, 90% of the people opposed to it. What we're seeing, though, is that even in that Monmouth poll, the numbers were 80 to 85% in favor about 10 years ago. Yep. And that we saw some fading in the support for it, but the dramatic change, the poll numbers have plummeted. The support for this project is disappearing. I bet you it's a lot lower than what they're reporting.
Oh, I agree with you about Monmouth. Now, the key thing now is we have Democrats on record wanting a moratorium. At least some of them seem to be indicating that as we get near to the election. So you're still doing events in Ocean City, and we'll let people know about that. But the key thing is to hold their feet to the fire. Any thoughts on how to do that, to put it on the radar screen? That the Assembly guy, I think the Senate president both said, well, it looks like a moratorium might be something to do here. So they can't get out of it after the election easily.
I agree. Senate President Scutari and Assembly Speaker Coughlin both, unfortunately, voted for the additional money when Orsted basically went to the state, went to Trenton and said, we're going to pull out of this project back in July. They took an extra $1 billion in federal tax credits that were designated for ratepayers in New Jersey, and they handed that money to Orsted. But between this, I think it was July 27th and August 7th, Senator Scutari and Assembly Speaker Coughlin changed their tune, and then all of a sudden they issued a statement saying maybe we should look at this. Maybe we should take a pause. And I think they were looking at the polling numbers that were coming in. I mean, that'd be my guess. I mean, there's not a lot of support out there in New Jersey, and there are a lot of vulnerable Democrats on this issue who are probably sweating this out because it seems like every time Orsted has said, well, we might walk away from this, Trenton finds billions of dollars more. Washington finds billions of dollars more money. That's why I think this fight is far from over.
Without a doubt. So what are you doing in Ocean City? And by the way, all listeners know you're really in touch with Kelsey Grammer. I know he's doing a celebrity bartend, I think in North Wildwood, but he does want to be in touch with us and might be open to coming on, meeting, stuff like that. I am really happy if that happens.
Yes, Kelsey Grammer is very much on our side on this issue. And like you said, he's going to be at the North Wildwood Irish Festival the weekend of September 21st and 22nd. We are just waiting for the final word on when and where we can meet up with them, and we can have them on your show. I'm very much looking forward to that. We also have events here in Ocean City happening this Sunday, September 3rd, at the 35th Street Beach. It's a Hands Across the Beach event, an awareness event to protest against industrial offshore development. And also September 10th, again at the 35th Street Beach in Ocean City, there will be a press conference and a walk from 35th Street Beach. And the reason people may say, well, why 35th Street Beach? Well, that's where the cable run is supposed to be entering Ocean City from offshore. A bunch of cables are going to be buried under the sand and under our streets and right, under people's houses or next to their houses, from the 35th Street Beach all the way to the bridge, the 34th Street Bridge. And they're scheduled to start drilling test holes, boring samples, they call them, on 9/11. So we didn't want to have the event on 9/11 for obvious reasons. Yeah. It's a solemn occasion. And so we are holding a big press conference at 12 noon on the 35th Street Beach on the 10th. We're going to make it a family-friendly event, have cornhole and games for the kids and stuff. And we're encouraging people just to bring homemade signs and for those who are able to, we're going to walk all the way from the 35th Street Beach along the route that the cable is scheduled to be, or where it's going to be buried across the island, all the way to the Bayside, and then come back to the beach for a little while and have maybe some beach time, enjoy the pristine view while we still have it. And before the Eagles kickoff is at 4:25 on the 10th.
What timing! I can hardly wait. Kelsey Grammer, just such a fan too, and that you've done tremendous stuff here. Where's the website where people can follow what you're up to, Robin?
It's protectourcoastnj.com. Protectourcoastnj.com.
All I can say is we just got back from Italy, as you know, with listeners, and Lake Maggiore, Lake Como, just the nature of it, people willing to pay millions to have a house anywhere in the vicinity there, tourists flocking to. Our listeners said, even with Rome, that was the best part of the trip to them. It's that fabulous. I vote for the Jersey Shore. Yeah, they have the Alps, but other than that, the Jersey Shore has a beaten.
I agree with you.
Thank you, Robin.
All right. Thanks for having me, Dom.
You're welcome. All right. Have a good Labor Day. All right. So let me take one here on our side question coming off Venice. All-time boat, real or fictional? All-time boat. And tell us why. Just don't blurt it out. Explain. But I am very, very encouraged by what's happening. So as I understand it, on maybe the 22nd, Kelsey Grammer wants to get together, talk, etc. Boy, I'd love to have him as a celebrity bartender raising money for this over at Mulligan's. Oh, that would be, we'll make him a deputy fire marshal. Dan, they should give us the power to make other celebrities something. Now, that would be a great gift. Kelsey, how would you like to be mayor today? All right, here's what I'm going to do. No tram cars. All right, you got it. Just come on. All right, let's go to Kristen in Huntington Valley. All right, Kristen, afternoon. What's your real or fictional boat?
Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for taking my call. The Arizona, USS Arizona. Of course, it was a pivotal weapon of war at a crucial time, but then it has transcended its meaning and turned into something sacred for the United States. It's not a sunken ship. It's a grave. It's a destination, and it's a reminder for sacrifice.
That is a great one to start off. Very serious one. By the way, we'll talk, and I'm already, David O's on the show today. He is a big military veteran, running for mayor, et cetera, and very much connected to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, which has been defaced. Now, here in Philadelphia, did you see outrage? I'll give you all the details on it. I was following it. I guess on Wednesday it started to break. Actually taking out these stoppers that were elaborate put in there so these maniacs could not skateboard over the area where the names are at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. You know, when does Outlaw or Kenny even, these slugs, come on and say, this is an all-out manhunt? When do you get an all-out manhunt? What do you have to do where people are so outraged that these skateboarding clowns, and why, Dan talks about this all the time, the vibe in Philadelphia, why would they think they can't take out all this expensive stuff so they can do their nonsense? Well, we like to skateboard there because we like this. They did the same thing with Love Park. It's like the dirt bikers. Don't you get it? Well, we'll build a park. There's a park down by the golf course in South Philly that you could skateboard to. That's not what they want. They're animals. They don't want that. They're punks.
I had a shower thought the other day because I was arguing with someone on the hyper-liberal Philadelphia subreddit about the dirt bikers and ATVs who suggested that we needed to build them a park in South Philadelphia.
Of course.
My first question that came to mind, and I never thought about it before, but do you really expect these people with the illegal ATVs and dirt bikes to have trailers on the back of trucks? That they're gonna like, how do you think they're going to drive their dirt bikes and ATVs to this park? It's going to encourage more to get bikes because now you have a destination to bring them to, and they're going to be flying to that destination through the streets of Philadelphia.
Right, and the skateboarders, Dan, we've been through this before with Love Park. They want to skateboard where they want to skateboard. That's the fun of it. That's the idiocy of this. But the key thing is, when is there outrage? Has Philadelphia lost the ability? You know, when they're outraged, when somebody says something that's not politically correct in a slight way, then Larry Krasner, let's put him in jail for 100 years. That's their outrage. Virtue signaling. I have more details on that.
Christopher Columbus statues.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus. That's it. It's an outrage. I can't look at it. All right, get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off the NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. And I really like that FanDuel app. Now's the best time to join FanDuel. The app, easy to use. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. Visit FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you don't want to miss. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. They're the official partner of the NFL. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER. NFL Sunday ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel anytime.
Rich Zeoli.
Jack Smith going to Subway today is a message to Donald Trump. Donald Trump tries to intimidate people. That was Jack Smith with no words and a simple $5 sub in his hand saying, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere.
So brave. He went to Subway, where all those MAGA people usually hang out to beat the crap out of people. Like Jack Smith is showing he's strong by going to lunch. And to double down, he went to dinner.
Rich Zeoli, weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Sebastian Maniscalco, live in Atlantic City.
Like when we went to the zoo as kids, that's all you got was the zoo. You ate in the car before we go in. What? They got food inside. You think I'm gonna pay? And when you got hungry, you left. Dad, I'm hungry. Okay, let's go.
Sebastian Maniscalco, Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa for 10 shows from November 9th through 18th. Get tickets now at theborgata.com.
Hey, neighbor, what you up to?
Just getting the groundwork done to put in my new patio.
Oh, cool. Did you contact Pennsylvania One Call system to check for underground utilities first?
Nah, there's nothing but dirt back here.
Whoa, hey, man, are you okay?
Hey, did you guys lose power too? Love that new hair color, Bill.
Yeah, your hair's totally white now.
Maybe I should contact Pennsylvania One Call.
Well, that's the smartest thing you've said all day.
Know what's below. Contact 811 before you dig or visit pa1call.org to submit a locate request to have underground utilities marked.
From Broomall to Brookhaven, follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
Download it now.
Dom Giordano's show. Welcome in. Hey, thanks to the Inquirer. I'm not sure why they wrote it this way today, Ando. They wrote about Eamon Brown, our buddy, because vouchers are coming up again. They started up again yesterday in Harrisburg, and Eamon said, I know what I fight for every single day in West Philly, and I'm just hoping a lot of my colleagues start to do the same. We have to remove politics out of vouchers because our children are dying. They said it August 1st on Dom Giordano's radio show. Is that enough to say? They don't have to say where? I guess they're saying everybody knows. Oh, thank you, Inquirer. We'll take it that way. All right. So it's 855-839-1210. Side question, due to all the Venice, due to all the boating of Lake Como, et cetera, hit us with that all-time boat, real or fictional, and give your reason why you think that is I see some good ones up here. Yeah, I thought, there are enough of them that people can, they already have great number of them. Let's go to Carol in Somerton. All right, Carol, what's your boat?
Welcome back.
Thanks, Carol.
I'd like to say Noah's Ark, because if without Noah's Ark, we wouldn't be around here.
That's a pretty powerful one. Noah's Ark apparently was pretty big, too, according to biblical accounts. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. That's a little bit, I haven't thought about that one. That's a little bit outside the box. As I said, David O will be here today at 2:00. He's authored several bills around the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. I believe they need $15,000 now just for the damage associated with this. But Philadelphia is a city of the big shrug. They don't get worked up over anything. Do you see Kenny? No, Kennedy does get worked up when he can attack the people of Oaks, Pennsylvania, or the NRA, or some hobgoblin in that goofball's mind. Does Daniel Outlaw ever get worked up over a crime? Is there anything that? No. Is Larry Krasner saying we're going to hunt this person down, full penalties of the law to stop this stuff? Look, if you did it, say, to the Korean War veterans, it's still, you're doing it to a memorial of people who suffered and died to protect us. But given the way the Vietnam War veterans were treated, we all know this. There's been a constant movement to try to, over the years, and I think it's worked somewhat. Yeah, he's at Wegmans getting ready for the long weekend. He's looking at that guy buying more Prosecco. We all know the Vietnam veterans, what they suffered coming home particularly. And that's why it's such a focal point, a place of honor, to be skateboarding over top of the area, taking away blockers, because I knew this is what these idiots would do. What are they reflective of? Wow, come on, we got murders out there. Why do you zone in on this? We ought to be zoning in on all of it. All of it's important. These are punks that need to be dealt with in an effective way. I'm not even saying we take them to people missing limbs who were Vietnam veterans, and that would reach them and teach them. I don't think you are going to reach them. I don't even care about reaching them. I just care about punishment, about stopping this, about a society. Does Philadelphia have enough people that get outraged over anything? Well, if a cop is involved, they get outraged over that. If Trump's involved, they get outraged over that. If it's about any mention of anything associated with transgenderism or abortion, they get outraged over that, even if you're not anywhere near taking away any kind of right, so-called right. But no, when it comes to stuff like this, They just don't care. They think, what's the big deal? Why can't you skate wherever you want? 855-839-1210. You get on board. Now, coming up, Charlie Giroux is a great friend, Republican insider and activist, quarterbacked a lot of great causes. He resigned. He texted me. I saw it on Wednesday. There in Internet. Well, Charlie Giroux resigned. He's one of the co-founders, or close to that, of CPAC. Now, you know about CPAC. It's kind of like a conservative Woodstock. You have to be there to see just how conservative it is, and also how young it is of people, actually, young Republicans, that kind of thing. Well, Matt Schlapp is under all kinds of fire, the guy who founded it, directs it now, both money-wise and allegations of a sexual nature. Allegations, I'll say at this point. Giroux resigned and went public with that. And look, for talk radio, CPAC is a big deal. This is where you see the candidates, you see some of the most conservative things tested out. It is, as I said, a big annual convention, even if you don't go. The spinoff from it is very much in the middle of that. So we'll ask him. And is this an example of another conservative group that you can't trust? I think he wants a forensic look at it. Also, we're going to talk with Winsome Sears today, Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, proud defender of the Second Amendment. She comes from Jamaica. She got elected along with Youngkin, fierce parental rights advocate, big-time player. She'll also be here today. Love to get you in on all that and on the side question, which is, hit us with that all-time real or fictional vote. Now, Labor Day weekend, it's always a good time to get with the real captain, and that's Captain Chucky's. For all seafood lovers, you know Captain Chucky's crab cakes. And at Captain Chucky's, they're always trying to keep things new and fresh. If you haven't tried the new banging crab ravioli or lobster ravioli, the amazing blush sauce, now's the time. Also, brand new product, very new. Philly Famous Clams Casino, mouth-watering addition to your table. All that at Captain Chucky's, of course, the usual. Huge number of choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. Literally a crab cake for everybody. Dessert, soup, sides, appetizers. My personal favorite, the Dom roll. They only use the highest quality ingredients. Their Gulf shrimp, a huge hit. It's always wild caught, never farm raised. Order that shrimp tray. And when you go, visit the independent owners of the satellite stores. Now, there are 18, but very soon, 20 locations. A lot of Captain Chucky's talk when we were in Italy. Two people coming up. Oh, I go to the Captain Chucky's, like Wayne and Elaine Jones in Chester Springs. Frank Chirillo in Bluebell. John and Cindy Clark in Huntington Valley. In Ocean City, Chris and Donna Ryan. In Seattle, the McCann family. In Avalon, the Vasilati family. Sure locations open daily. Congrats to Sam Cancelleri, Irish Mike McGarry. They prepare to open their new Chucky store in Medford, New Jersey. And coming soon to Northeast Philly, Home Circle. Congrats to the Graziani family. Remember, we love crabcakes.com. If you're headed to the Jersey Shore, check out Captain Chucky's at theshore.com.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today. You may be glad you did.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
At Wells Fargo, if you accidentally overdraw your account, we give you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with an extra day?
Sunday night and I have the Sunday scaries.
Honey, don't be scared. Every weekend comes with an extra day now.
All right.
TGI Sunday.
It helps to have an extra day. When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getextra to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to timing requirements and the bank's funds availability policy. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Summer is almost over, but there's one more chance for you to join Rich Zioli live from the Grand Hotel in Cape May.
Mark your calendar. Do it now. Live shows are the best, aren't they? We get together, we have fun, a lot of laughs, the bar's open. It's always a great time.
Kick off your Labor Day weekend this afternoon at the Grand Hotel, 1045 Beach Ave, Cape May.
Come see the live show, 3 to 7 p.m. Yes, Matt the Sanctus Traitorous will be there. Henry's Mullet may or may not be there. It'll be a lot of fun.
This afternoon at 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app. On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Big issues, big